Good morning, it's Phil Thatch and I'm here once again at the Hiwassee Wildlife Refuge. I'm just maybe 10 minutes after sunrise. It's January 26th and there are birds everywhere. There's got to be at least 300 or 400 just in flight right here. See if I can. Pretty crazy. So I'm excited to get started. Today I'm using my Nikon Z8 and my new 600mm f6.3 phase Fresnel lens. And you know, I've said at the beginning of Sandhill Crane season that I was going to switch it up and bring different gear every time, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm so crazy about this camera and this lens. Why would I bring something that I don't like as much? So anyway, sorry about failing on my campaign promise, for lack of a better word, but this is the camera I'm most enamored by right now. So this is the camera I'm using, and hopefully that's okay with you. So I'm going to get started, get set up. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photographers here. So I need to get up there and get myself a spot. In today's video, I've decided to present my shots to you a little bit different. I'm going to show them to you in sequences, and here is a sequence of this bird coming in and taking a nice sharp cut. All these have been slightly edited and exported to JPEG so I can present them to you in this fashion. And when the clip's over, I'll show you the best ones. So I'm going to show you at least one photograph from every sequence. And of that first sequence, I've only got one to show you. And this is it. I love this shot. The banking bird with the beautiful layers of colors in the background turned out really nice. All of these shots are 600mm wide open at 6.3. And this one is 1/1600th of a second. Here's the next set, and this was super close. These are not cropped at all. As you can see, they're not cropped into 16:9. Just a quick flyby here and a few shots that I made hoping to get the bird in the frame, but I wasn't always able to keep it from having clipped wings and things of that nature. I have 5 shots, all at 1/1600th of a second from the super close pass, and I was able to crop some of these to 16:9, so I love that. And here's the first one. I love the up close detail of this bird in flight. Look at all the beautiful colors, and the sky has nice colors as well. Here's another shot in that pass, 1/1600th of a second for all of these. I love the detail in these and the colors. Here's another one. I'm not hugely satisfied with the wing position on this one, but this one has the sharpest eye. I don't think I could have got a sharper photograph of this bird's eye if it was sitting motionless on the ground. And I like the open mouth as it is actively calling while this shot is being made. Just about clipped the wingtip on this one, but not completely. So that made this one worth sharing with you. And this is the last of the shots from the super close-up pass. The closest I've gotten of one of these birds flying by, I think, all year. And this is almost filling the frame, and sometimes more than filling the frame, on a 600mm lens full frame. Here's another sequence, and influenced by my lovely bride who came with me the last time I came to the Hiwassee Wildlife Refuge, I did a lot of shots of birds as they were landing, because that's when you get the best wing positions, as you can see here. And that turned out pretty cool. I've got a couple of shots from the next sequence, and now I'm up to 1/2000th of a second for these. Nice wing position here on the landing shot, kind of copying what Mrs. Thatch did last time we came out. And of course, now I've done landing shots before, but she concentrated on them so much and they came out so nice. I decided to concentrate on them a little bit more this week. And this is 1/2000th. And here's another one with the full orchestra conductor wing position coming in for a landing. That's how they put on the brakes, is with these interesting wing positions. This is the longest sequence of the day. This is 214 shots of this Sandhill crane as it was coming out from a long distance and flying in, and I got it all the way until it lands. I think you may have noticed 2 or 3 shots so far of this 214 have been out of focus. Here's the tree branch that often gets in your shot right there. And then soon the Sandhill crane will fly behind the tree trunk before coming in for a landing. There's the tree trunk coming up here. There it is. And I just kept right on shooting all the way to the landing. I only have one shot from this pass that I liked enough to share with you as an individual image. I love the colors in the sky on this. There's blues and purples and pinks. So that's really nice. I'm not thrilled with the way the bird looks in this, but it's not terrible. And this is 1/2000th of a second. This sequence has only 23 shots, and I was shooting 12 frames per second. I know the camera will do 20, but I was shooting 12, so this took less than 2 seconds here. I've got 3 shots that I liked enough from this pass. This is a juvenile sandhill crane coming in for a landing, 1/2000th of a second. Here's one shot, and here's the next shot with the orchestra conductor wing position, and one more, another orchestra conductor. This is the next flap, and it's just about to touch down. So 3 shots from that pass that I decided to share with you on their own at 1/2000th of a second. Here's another sequence. This one is 130 shots, once again at 12 frames per second. I'm playing these back for you at different speeds, sometimes as slow as a half a second for each shot. This one's 2/10 of a second for each shot. A couple of shots, maybe just one, were out of focus, but most of these are in focus. This one, I did not get all the way to the ground. I didn't really like any of the shots in this particular pass enough to share with you on their own, but I decided to take this one and make it into a 3:1 aspect ratio with the interesting trees in the background and share this one. This is another 1/2000th of a second. This is another short sequence, only 24 shots in this one, so this is exactly 2 seconds of shooting, and I'm playing these back at 1/2 a second each. This is my favorite shot of these 2 birds flying by. This is 1/2000th of a second. I like the layers in the background. The wing positions are okay, and the eyes look nice, especially on the bird on the right. Here's a 46 shot sequence. I think 2 of the 46 are out of focus, but most of them are nice and sharp. I only found one shot that I liked enough to single out and share with you from this pass, another 1/2000th of a second pass. I love the background in this. The bird looks fantastic as well, and look at the way it pops with the background nicely out of focus. Beautiful bokeh characteristics from this 600 PF lens, and that's a bunch of sandhill cranes there in the mud in the background with water in the foreground of that mud and water in the background of that mud. This is 1/2000th of a second. Here's the last sequence that I'll be showing you, but I actually made this sequence before all the other ones, but I saved this one to the end because it has some of my favorite shots. I like the wing positions in these, and I love the colors, these landing shots influenced by my bride. I have 7 shots that I selected to share with you from this landing sequence. Love the beautiful golden colors in the background. These are 1/1600th of a second. As I mentioned, these shots were made before all of the other ones in this video. Wings out wide there as this beautiful sandhill crane is coming in for a landing. And now we're nearing an orchestra conductor position on the wings. Just really, really beautiful, putting on the brakes to come in for a landing. And now he's just kind of dropping down with his wings spread backwards. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And another shot in that sequence almost on the ground now. Kind of a orchestra conductor, but also trying to steer a little bit as it's coming in to land on this 1/1600th of a second shot. And finally, we are on the ground, but not completely stopped. As you can see, he's got one foot on the ground and he's still taking a step as he's continuing to slow down. Well, that was a lot of fun. I don't know if I got any good shots or not, but I think I might have gotten a few. Hopefully I did. If so, you've already seen them. But the highlight of the day for me today was as soon as I showed up and set up my tripod, a guy said, "Hey Phil, why don't you come stand over here?" And he actually had a better spot on the little boardwalk there. And I said, "Okay, don't mind if I do." And it was a viewer by the name of Tel Burkett and his son, and they were shooting with all sorts of cool gear. I think Tel had a Z9 and a F-mount 600 F4, and his son had a Z52 and a 500 F4 like I used to have back in the day. And I hung out with them the whole time, and they mentioned that Tel had struggled to get a kingfisher shot, which I happen to know a good place to get a kingfisher. And so I took them over to Dayton Park, and both of them got kingfisher shots. So that was cool. And Tel had showed me where he had gotten a picture of a kestrel, American kestrel, which is a bird I've never gotten a shot of. So maybe one day he can help me get a picture of a kestrel. But anyway, it was a lot of fun hanging out with them. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. That helps me out a lot. And if you want to see some more stuff like this, subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.